Hello and welcome back to the channel. Lunas here, and today I'll be continuing the Rimworld run. Last episode we landed in a new area, and our mission will be to get a grav core and some gravelite panels from the facility we're next to. We've already found some gravelite panels, although I do hope for some more. And we wait on the healing of our colonists due to a mishap with some explosive barrels last episode. So the first thing I want to check is how we're looking for hemogen packs. It seems we have 3 in storage. And crafted hemogen is about 50, so that's fine for now. I might just have deadlift offer up a little more, and I guess we can make some more armor, as Tree Lips and Kiko are without flak helmets, and Lips is without a flak jacket. Some cargo pods arrive on the map, and they provide us with 223 pemmican. I'm kind of hesitant to send someone down by their lonesome to haul the pemmican, so we're just gonna send a whole bunch of people at once, due to the bog hound around the area. It doesn't end up attacking us, and we can safely... Never mind. A monitor lizard nearby decides to attack. We're probably gonna have to have Lips fall back to help defend him. He probably goes the worst way possible. Okay. We're able to save him. And we are probably going to have to be very careful with deadlift for the time being. As such, he will be assigned to ship only. As expected, he does go down, and we send someone to rescue him and order his things to be hauled back aboard. Kiko's diseases continue to progress, the gutworms being over half treated, and the fibrous mechanites. While we don't know the time left, I don't imagine it will be much more than half a quadrant. We'll have a medicine bill put in place to make 18 medicine. This isn't too much that we'll be holding at any given time, which I'm hoping won't increase our wealth too much. And we will think about getting our troops ready to head back into the facility. The next morning, Crafter, Lane and Throb gather, although we will need Kiko to come with us for their ability to hack into ship doors. Blast doors, excuse me. Of which we find 2 immediately. A sentry behind the door ends up proving no threat, as Crafter is quickly able to lock it in place. Although one is approaching from the west, it doesn't seem interested in where we are though, and we could probably leave it till later. A quest does become available. However, I'm not exactly interested in the rewards, and currently we don't have the equipment to really deal with mechanoids, as we're focusing armor at the moment. The 2 sentries through in the next room managed to get a couple of sneaky shots off against our colonists, but it doesn't prove to do any damage. The next room we don't take any chances with, and have Crafter rush in to take out the sentry before it can fire off a shot. We have Crafter rush to intercept a sentry coming in from the north, and have Lane and Frog close in to help assist. With the threat dealt with, they pile in on the door Kiko is working on. crafter reaches level 10 melee, with the room crafter was looking at empty, he moves back up to Kiko and Throb with Lane, and we wait for the next door. It being a chem fuel storage room, we'll have Crafter and Lane work on opening the chem fuel barrels, and then reaching into the next room. Where we find a small number of components, although due to the current mood we are going to retreat temporarily. Although I will have Kiko finish the last of the uplink progress before he leaves. So the uplink hack provides us with a new quest. It seems like it could be similar to the Discover Complex quests, but instead for space, although that likely means the loot will be better. During the morning, we're hit with a whole bunch of notifications at once. A war merchant arrives from one of the tribal factions, which we will trade with for herbal medicine. Throb gets a inspired creativity inspiration. The true advent becomes available, and we get a raid from the pigskins. With no defenses, things could prove to be a bit of a challenge, especially with the number of raiders. Although their weaponry doesn't look to be too advanced, we probably can't count on the tribals for too much help. I am going to have Tree trade with them though, despite her poor health. And everyone else will gather to repel the raiders. Speaking of, Deadlift is without a weapon, and we need to find his LMG quickly. With the raiders deciding to wait before they attack, we have Sam and Lips swap their weapons, and Lips will be going out to preemptively snipe the enemy. We buy all of the herbal medicine from the traders and sell some of our unwanted weaponry. The main reason for this is Sam has a very large movement speed modifier that is down in the negatives due to being in the later stages of pregnancy. So we will be relying on Lips to snipe in her stead, although his stat is significantly lower. Lips does end up having to back off fairly quickly. We placed some of our colonists outside to help assist, although it doesn't seem like Lips is gonna get back on time. Lips does end up going down. And so does Lane. Sam goes into labor, and The pigskins seem more interested in raiding the facility than attacking us, which we will take advantage of by having Crafter quickly take out as many of their men as we can. Throb will aim to rescue Lips, who only has 8 hours to live. With a large number of enemy raiders dealt with by us, we have our troops head back inside. We have Sam head to her room for the childbirth, and meanwhile Tree will be responsible for healing up our other colonists, starting with Lips. The raiders that end up retreating get stuck up against a blast door while being gunned down by a sentry. It doesn't seem like they'll be able to escape. Meanwhile, the tending is going fairly well. And the giving birth is coming to an end. Tree does go into a mental break, that being a sad wonder, but most of the colonists that need tending have been tended to. The sentry has finished with the raiders and has now come to us looking for a fight. And that's not something we're going to allow. So we'll have Throb and Deadlift come and deal with it. The sentry goes down, and we can have everyone else go back to working. The child is born healthy, which is great news. And we will stick with the name we have received randomly, that being Strick. Kiko manages to finish the tending work despite their mood being extremely low. And we will work on improving that mood as soon as we can. The first step to which is clearing the bodies off of the ship by setting up a new stockpile zone. We'll also put some orders in place to repair the ship corridor that was damaged. Although the damage isn't very significant, it's still something we need to sort out in case of another raid. Also, the new corridor layout has proved to work pretty well. The only issue is we need to be wary of defensive cover outside of the ship, that being the only reason we suffered casualties beforehand. Crafter was able to shut down the enemies pretty well. Kiko does end up having a mental break and takes his anger out on the prisoner, beating them severely. Although on a happier note, Throb and Lane have agreed to become engaged, and hopefully they end up getting married. By the next morning, most of the bodies around the ship have been hauled away, so we'll work on the ones slightly further away in order to have the colonists not accidentally run into them and receive negative move force. However, our goal immediately is to get the True Advent underway, in the hopes that it can provide a more permanent mood boost for the time being, as we still have nearly half of the facility left to explore. Sadly, the Advent is unimpressive, and everyone gains a -1 mood. While not a massive penalty, it could still be the reason for a mental break, so we'll have to be careful with deploying our troops. Speaking of which, we can now have Sam re-equip her sniper rifle once I can find it. And then Lips will re-equip their Masterwork Nerve Spiker. Immediately after, a Cold Snap and a Psychic Drone on the male gender of the medium variety hits the map. Not great, but we can probably deal with those. The ship is being kept at a rather stable 20 to 17 degrees across the entire ship, so things shouldn't be too rough. The psychic drone, it appears, will cause quite a lot of mental breaks, as a fair number of our colonists already have low mood, and as such the facility exploration will probably have to wait another couple of days. The bodies meanwhile have been completely hauled, and we will remove the home zone for the dumping stockpile to prevent colonists going back and trying to clean it as the bodies rot. The psychic drone ends, giving us a small ray of hope for the increase of mood. Although things aren't necessarily going to be very stable just yet. The next opportunity to potentially raise mood by a lot is still 4 days away, so we'll have to be careful before then. By the next morning, Lane has snapped out of their mental break, and I have decided to send a new group into the facility, that being composed of Crafter, Kiko, and Tree. With Lips still needing to heal, we will leave him behind. And the group will now focus on exploring the southern area of the facility. Seems the raiders that were here have dropped some materials that may be useful, so we'll take those. The hunter drone doesn't do any damage, which is great, and we managed to find an architect arm in one of the loot rooms. Lane has decided to come over, and while he's here we'll have him help. We still don't know if there's any enemies left, and just in case we'll have him stick with us. It frees up Kiko from having to pile on doors, and we can have her focus on hacking into the facility instead. The next two rooms don't really have much of interest, just a turret which is easily dealt with, thanks to Crafter's shield belt yet again. Kiko will be sent over to hack into the new routes, although seeing where she is pathing to makes me feel we may not have to. There is another turret, but we should be able to deal with it easily again. Kiko does end up taking a couple of shots, but she should be fine. And we come across a sentry. No wonder the raiders hadn't killed it yet, as it had been locked into the current area where we are. Crafter's mood is starting to become a little low, so we may rush the next couple of rooms. Seeing a empty room with a turret we don't have to enter, we will go the other way to save some time. Another empty room, and we will have Hacker and the rest of the... we will have Crafter and the rest of the squad head south, while Kiko looks to open the door. Another empty chem fuel room. And we find the terraformer. Crafter should be able to deal with the turrets somewhat. Some of them are slightly damaged. The regeneration on his shield belt seems to be enough that he can solo the room. Kiko ends up getting into combat with a sentry drone, although luckily it's in melee, so Lane and Crafter will go and assist her. And upon checking the last room is clear, we have Crafter head back to the ship with Lane, while Kiko and Tree look to complete the mission. It seems we actually need to hack it rather than destroy it, so we'll do that with Kiko. Although I am going to have to send them back rather quickly, due to them becoming stressed. We'll give them a little bit of time, or we can have Tree come round instead, as her mood is significantly higher. Sadly, the graphite panels as well were the only ones we found, so it doesn't put us at a very high amount. Tree gets locked out of hacking for 12 hours. It seems Strick is starving for some reason. I don't know why, as she is assigned to breastfeed. Not something I normally allow, and this is one of the reasons why. We will look to cook our child food in future, and have one of the people assigned to childcare handle that matter. Speaking of which, we need to confirm. Kiko has an alcohol binge and a solar flare hits the map. Luckily with the cold snap gone though, this shouldn't affect the ship temperature too much. Although it is winter, coming on winter to be fair, and the outside temperature isn't too high. The power for the ship returns, and some visitors enter the map. We have no edible food left aboard, except packaged meals, which I believe I've forbidden. I have Sam quickly cook some meals. With the pemmican gone as well, the meal bills will be increased to make sure that we constantly have meals available, even when Sam is sleeping. During the night, Kiko stopped binging on alcohol, which means when she gets up, she should be in a good mood. We have Tree go and trade with the visitors for 2 herbal medicine in order to further fuel the ingredients for regular medicine. We receive a quest to deal with some soldiers, however they possess a masterwork weapon. This is something we're very much going to want to have, and will likely be relying on Crafter significantly for this fight. I have no idea what the weapon is though, so we'll have to be careful. And it seems to be very close to the next Gravcore sites. As we now have even more of a reason to hurry up with the current mission, we have Kiko head in to hack the terraformer again. Hopefully she should be able to get it before she's locked out. We obtain the Gravcore and have Kiko haul it back. And as soon as she's aboard, we'll look to head to the next location, which will be the quest we literally just received. A Alpha Frumbo quest has expired, although I never realized we had one of those available. With the ship landed, I think I will end the episode here, although before I go, we have received another Gravcore detected mission. I'm not sure how long it will take to do that, but it may be something we consider in the future. For now though, we have enough missions lined up for the time being, that being 3, potentially with some more to be on the way. Though for now, I will be ending. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It massively helps me know that you're enjoying the content I produce, and it gives me quite a lot of inspiration to continue, as I have hit a few rough patches, but I think I should be back for the foreseeable future, as long as nothing else happens. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.